Hey everyone, welcome into the film room. I have heard you guys in comments, you want more VOD breakdowns, and today we've got a special treat for you. So as we go ahead and press play on this one, we are actually on board with DASHY, and let me tell you something, this dude absolutely goes off. So throughout this one, it's obviously DASHY when it comes to just his overall gun skill. The dude is just unbelievable. He barely misses any bullets, but this is one of the first times that we've seen him with a QBZ in his hands, and I don't know if this is something that we'll continue to see for the next week or so or not, just because he plays so well, and it seems like this is just a gun that meshes with him. I know obviously I'm nowhere near the same level, but like when I'm playing Cold War or when I'm playing Warzone, like there are guns that just make sense to me and there are guns that just don't. And although these guys have unbelievable aim, it seems like that's probably the same, like that kill right there. I mean, the dude gets a kill on P1, snaps up top, gets a second kill, goes back to the first, finishes it. He's just unbelievable, and I really like him at this position right here. I mean, that is not an easy kill to make with the QBZ, and he's just making it look unbelievably easy. So not that everybody else also couldn't play this same way, but he's already got streaks. The score is literally only 35-1, and he's already on a 10 spree. I mean, I don't know. We'll see if this gun ends up staying or not, but if it does, I figured the switch away from the XM4 would hurt OpTic a lot, mainly because DASHY's so good with it. The XM4, in the state that it was in, it really did remind me of the Maddox from Black Ops 4, and the last time we saw DASHY with a Maddox in his hands, he was just unbelievable. So I thought that this might hurt them a little bit, especially if it becomes a 3 SMG meta, because last year when we saw him with an SMG in his hands using the MP5 during Modern Warfare, it really wasn't great. But so far, if QBZ is a gun that people use and it's one that doesn't get GA'd, I think that this looks really good for OpTic, as he's going to go ahead and just kind of angle that missile in. He didn't get any kills with it, but it does look like they were able to win spawns, and he's just controlling mid-map right here. So other thing that I'll say about this is that this is the first time that on a VOD I've broken down this map with the change to P4 being in bottom lake. And we'll talk a little bit about that setup more once we get there. I thought DASHY did a really nice job of being positioned down towards bottom ice, actually by that P4 location as P2 popped. If he can do that and just be a human turret down towards bottom ice as it rotates from P1 to P2, if you have them spawning out and he's in that location, I mean, that's a pretty nasty setup. And the one thing that I will say is that right now, so where we're at right now, if this was the old rotations, right now OpTic would be set up to go up like 100 points easily, right? Because they'd be locking down P4, which is over to the left top side of the map, and they would have all of that control. It's one of the easiest hills to hold. But now that it's changed, it's kind of even the playing field a little bit, where those left side of the map spawns aren't quite as dominant as they used to be. Like right now, it's P4. It's been popped for 30 seconds. There's nobody inside of it because both the left side of P4 and the right side of P4, there are power positions on each side. And it's just now, as I mean, are you kidding me? Is he seriously just getting doubles like that? I don't think anybody else in the lobby is using the QBZ, but I think after seeing DASHY do what he's doing here, I think you'll probably start to see a few more. But it wasn't until that streak from DASHY that we actually saw control down towards P4, right? Because at one point in time, there was one team spawning over towards the left, one team spawning over towards the right, and there was just a lot of battling in between and around the hill. As soon as he went on that streak, they were able to get map control down towards the bottom, and that's what you're going to see more and more. So for the very first time, let's go ahead, let's pause this, let's bring up our mini map, and let's talk through exactly what we're kind of seeing here. So first of all, P4 is no longer here. Obviously, P4 is now down towards the bottom of the map. So this is our new P4 location. And what we were seeing at the moment was OpTic was getting this spawn over on the left-hand side, and 100 Thieves was getting this spawn over here on the right-hand side, which is why I kind of like the current P4 location, because until somebody gets kills and gets moved up into the enemy's side of the map, you're really not going to be able to get any control in or around that P4 hardpoint. So essentially what happened is that finally OpTic were able to get down and get control of P4. And as they did that, they were able to push forward a little bit. Once they pushed forward, that canceled out this spawn, and it actually kind of caused a flip spawn. But in that scenario, it wasn't terrible, because since DASHY was still over here towards the jump up, DASHY was located right here. What that did is that actually took 100 Thieves and it spawned them out by old P4. And as they were trying to get back over towards P4 through these routes, DASHY was able to just sit on top of that jump up, and he was able to get kills in this location. So if you're able to get pushed up and get that sort of spawn, you could easily push forward from P4, hit this jump up, be able to get kills here. And essentially, there's only two ways that that team can get back over towards P4. They can obviously take this route, which we were just showing. They could run through P3, and once they get inside of P3, they could go top storage to catwalk and then have these lines of sight, or they could run through P3 and go mid and have this line of sight. So what we saw there was just now, again, something like this changes over and over and over again, right? That's just the nature of new spawns on, even though it's a well-known map, you get new hardpoint location, new spawns. Those things start to get more and more developed as the life cycle goes on. But as you're watching it right now, I mean, this dude's absolutely going off. It is nice, however, to see like that kill right there against TJ. It's nice to see him lose that battle, because that's something that was a little bit different from the XM4. And one of the biggest reason why it was GA'd is just because those really close gun battles are gun battles that the M4 would routinely win over the AK-74U. So that's kind of the biggest reason why it was taken out of the rotation. Although right there, we just saw back-to-back kills from DASHY, and you can't really blame that. Those scenarios on the guns, I mean, he got first bullet, and he's just not missing right now. He's just absolutely going in. But we're about halfway through the map. I'm still going to pause it and just talk through some of the most important things that I see throughout the map. But for now, let's go ahead. Let's dive in. Let's listen to OpTic's team comms, because as DASHY continues this route that he's on, I want to make sure that we're hearing all about it. So let's go ahead. Let's listen in.
I have top cat.
You one cat.
Barrels.
You want top cat?
On time.
Out of P1, Donnie.
Let's count 1P1.
Out of P1, Donnie.
1P1, Donnie, done.
Hit me here, dude. I'm hitting old.
I'm playing new.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He's at ult. He's just.
Slasher.
Nice.
Slasher might push up P1.
He did. He's here on me.
Ivy, help here, Dale. Give me a sec. Ivy, right?
Hang on.
Oh, bottom mid, Ken. Scout.
Bottom and Ken dead.
Nice.
I will say real quick, that was a really nice sequence there out of 100 Thieves. They easily could have packed it in and just gave up and went on to the next map. But as P2 popped, initially OpTic had those P2 spawns. They ended up getting slayed out and losing them, even though they did get the last 5 or 10 seconds there inside of P2. And then as it rotated over towards P3, OpTic didn't have those initial spawns to begin with. And even right now, they don't have those left side of the map spawns. But that was a decent sequence there. If 100 Thieves doesn't chain back map control from P2 to P3 back to back, this could possibly even be map over already. And as it stands right now, it's only a 60-point game, right? If they go ahead, get a chunk of time inside of P4, or they win rotations, third set of rotations over towards P2, this can be a totally different outcome, despite the fact DASHY's been absolutely going off so far. So let's go ahead. Let's listen back in as we approach this P4 for the second time.
Absolute.
He's on only P1 and Ken got
Nice, good shot,
Cliff. Cliff Donnie weak him twice. Just sitting Cliff.
Bottom mid, Ken dead.
You can slash.
Yo, it's Crane.
I'll go Crane. No, I won't.
for him. I don't
One's
see him.
Cliff,
I don't
one's
see him.
Crane. I don't know where the fuck Crane went.
Crane ran.
You push new. You push free flank set.
Is he cap flat? Or bottom P2?
P2 back to TJ. Behind you.
Said cat dead.
Yeah.
Nice. One on time. I'm trying to
Top fences, Donnie. Top fences. One shot. A really weak top fences.
Fences dead. One more time. Flasher.
One other thing that I'll say real quick is that 100 Thieves is actually doing a really nice job of they're spawning in the top left where we talked about before, but since they have control of ice, they're actually, rather than hitting through P3 and going mid over towards P4, they've actually a couple times sent somebody over towards Crane, so through P1 over to Crane, and once they get there, they're essentially hitting a flank, and you saw Dashy die twice there from behind. So I actually really like that little bit of a flank there, just because as OpTic comes up off of spawns by P2, obviously they're going to be focused on what's happening in P4 and those power positions from jump up that are above P4, but as they do that, they got flanked from the right, and that enabled 100 Thieves to put another 20, 30 points on the board. Let's go ahead, let's listen back in.
It's one cat. P3, last guy.
He's got me. He's
One's bottom mid.
He's going middle. I think that's both of them. He's on the left.
Nice, good job, Brendan. I'm
That's
happy,
just
Brendan.
nasty.
ASMD weak. Slasher help.
Flasher dead.
Yo, one guy's in our cat. One guy's going
cat?
top fences. Yep.
Right pitch barrel door.
Our cat dead.
Coming
Q3.
Q3.
Again.
Could be your outer, Brendan.
Alright, one second getting outer. I can't get chat.
One shot, Thieves, P3.
Watching over you, though.
Again, that's a scenario where Dashy missed his first couple bullets, and as soon as TJ and Dashy both got on target, TJ was able to win that engagement with an SMG as he should. So I don't think that this gun's super overpowered. I think Dashy's just kind of slaying out with it.
Oh, one's Crane. Damn it.
I'm behind them in town. I'm just gonna kill
I have an artillery, right?
One's Crane.
Oh, Crane still.
Yo, top cat.
Wow, absolute time.
Crane Slasher.
How about you, cap, Brendan?
Crane Slasher or Donnie. Donnie's Crane.
I think he's back top flat dead.
I'm coming right.
Yo, one guy's low stairs time.
Back cat, back door.
I'm swinging right.
Have your help time.
Come on, Tom,
I'm
dead.
dead.
He's on time, one shot. He's just challenging. He's on the stairs.
One more Crane.
No, barrel door.
Crane guys. He's back right. Crane, you're ready to cross your right.
Crane dead.
Nice. P1 now.
Tom. Cat.
Low left. Low left, Donnie. Low left, Donnie. Absolute. A search. Absolute challenge. What do you got challenge? Absolute low left.
Barrel door.
You guys spawned out.
Nice, good shit. I have cat.
Major left.
Cat, let's go slash your cat.
Cat. Cat dead.
One shot Tej going back cat. He's in cat Tej.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit cat.
They're in P1 and shit.
I'm gonna hit right again.
Oh, he saw me jump up back left. There's two back left.
Tej cat weak.
One fences.
I feel
One
dead.
fences. Fences and two
Right.
times.
Two dead.
Slasher P1. Hit him twice. He's really weak.
Nothing
He's
hit
really
left.
nice. Good
More.
shit.
Oh, cat. Yeah, cat.
Major.
Any weak cat.
Chick in the back.
One shot, nice.
Back door, Donnie.
I shook the back.
Both back door.
Yeah, both back door got me.
Both time.
Unfortunately, even though he did call in streaks, it might have been a little bit of a wasted streak there, because as soon as he brought it up, everybody else on OpTic ended up dying. So what he was trying to do is, if OpTic was able to get those kills inside the hardpoint, then they're in the hardpoint, they have control, and then as 100 Thieves runs in off of spawn from that left-hand side, they would have ended up dying. That would have been the end of the map. Didn't work out how they wanted, but didn't end up costing them in the end.
Get in time.
And there you have it. So as you can see, 63 and 25 out of Dashy. That is just a monster map. Dude did basically 8,000 damage and had 10,000 score. I mean, that is unbelievable. So major map out of him. We'll see if it continues when it comes down to, will he continue to use the QBZ, or will he switch off of it, or will it get GA'd? I guess we'd never really know what exactly is going to happen with that. But if you guys are new around here, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you like these sort of breakdowns, let me know in the comments. Those of you that have been asking for more breakdowns, I'm here. I've been watching. I've been hearing you. So those games like this, I'm going to bring to you. So hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. But with that, thank you guys so much. We will see you in the next upload.